We hear so much about Epstein and P. Diddy, but people don't realize it just seems like these scandals run right on the back of previous scandals. And it's like the person in the forefront, the name changes, but the stories don't. Back in the 80s, there was this man named Larry King or Lawrence King, and he was really big into the Republican Party. And he even spoke, I believe it was in 1984 at a Bush presidential convention. But anyway, I came across some stuff. I've been reading this book, One Nation Under Blackmail, and just look at the Hamilton scandal, the Boys Town, or was that Omaha Boys Town, and this man Lawrence King, not to be confused, because I first was confused with Larry King, the one that used to talk on the news late at night, but it's not the same person. But anyway, he gave money to the Iran Contras for military aid. He didn't give any money, didn't help out the enemies, but he gave for our military aid. But anyway, it says King's criminal activities extended far beyond the looting of credit union he managed, because he used the credit union as his own personal ATM. Although it would be the investigation into the credit union that would help expose his other acts. In reality, King was a key pimp, PIMP, in an interstate kid network. And the transportation, of vulnerable children, particularly orphans from Boys Town, Nebraska, across the United States and probably other countries. But the book goes on to talk more about the stuff which, you can't say too much on all of these platforms. But anyway, several witnesses revealed that they had seen other kids at King's parties. Somebody else had parties, and the where a bunch of people get together and do the same thing sexually wise. Starts with an O. But anyway, who had claimed to have been kidnapped from their homes, some as young as 12. At least one told of a child whose incidents and torture and subsequent unaliving were captured on film, like a snuff film of a young individual. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and it makes you wonder because, like I said, I started all of this stuff whenever I was looking into the story about Tom Philpott. And so it makes you wonder, like I said, are all of these just riding on the backs of one another? Like, are they interconnected? Because, even that John Wayne Gacy, he hung out with political figures. So it just makes you wonder how much all of these are connected. Good morning, everybody. My name is Christy. Welcome to my channel, Christy's Musings. I mentioned, I filmed that video last Tuesday, and I mentioned that it seems like all of these situations run right on the back of one another. We have become a nation that I believe that is soon going to experience God's judgment. when you have people like the Tate brothers, Andrew Tate being a guest on Candace Owens' platform, when we victim blame or victim ridicule just for political whatever clout, I always err on the side of safety when it comes to situations where people are claiming that something happened to them. And I know from my own experiences that people are evil. I do not understand this now branding things as a political one side or the other when it comes to the safety of women and children. In Mesa, Arizona, young 14-year-old Emily Pike went missing. She was in a group home there that houses 7 to 17-year-old girls. And they have had 30 missing children incidents already. Emily Pike went missing at the end of January. She was a native girl from the San Carlos Apache Reservation. Again, just FYI, I am not native. My purpose is to advocate for innocent people. And my purpose for my channel is to advocate for truth in the middle of all of this chaos. Things have happened in my own family, and to me, that was whitewashed for the sake of keeping everybody happy, having to sit at the same table with people that had done things to me. So my heart goes out to victims. And I'm sorry, Candace Owens can have Andrew Tate on her platform all she wants, but I err on the side of caution when it comes to allegations of abuse. But Emily Pike, like I said, went missing at the end of January. Her body, different parts of it that were not joined together. It's so ridiculous to have to talk this way when we're grown people and supposed to be a free nation. But anyway, her body was found in garbage bags on Valentine's Day of all days. According to one of her friends, she had gone to meet a young boy that she had met in guitar lessons. And obviously from after that, she probably was trying to get back to her family on the San Carlos Apache Reservation. I used to be all like a Karen, thought that somebody ought to intervene with kids that were in troubled situations. And somebody should, but I don't think it's the government's place. I will say that right now. But like I said, I just want people to wake up to the fact that these things are still going on. There's money and trafficking that's happening across our nation and across this world. And these people, some of them are in high positions of power. That is how they get away with all of these things. Just like what I said in the beginning, Larry King was connected to the Page Boy scandal of the 1980s. like I said, you can look up the Boys Home, Nebraska scandal. He was in the middle of it. And Tom Philpott tried to tell people that things were going on in the 80s. And then he was suddenly unalived, and there's been a smear campaign against his name. Excuse my son. But anyway, it's just like I said, I wish people would wake up, and it's just too many women and children are being caught up in this maze of sin and filth. I love you all, and pray for this nation, pray for our children and our women, and pray that the Lord intervenes.